Hey everyone, guess who's back? It's the commish back here with our finals preview and lots to go over in terms of teams moving up, etc. But of course, I'll save that for the tiered format. I will start with the LOC Dynasty Finals. We got the fifth seed Klenji coming out of the International, taking on the Age Crew, the second seed out of the Canadian division. Klenji finished 8-6 this year in the regular season. Age Crew 10-4. This is their first meeting of the year. When I look at it, Klenji was fifth in league scoring this year. Age Crew was second in league scoring, fifth seed for second seed. Odd how that worked out. When I look at this game, I look at Age Crew. Problem is Mahomes was one of his second quarterbacks. He's done. I mean, he does have a good quarterback in Herbert, but obviously went with the Minshew Mania project. That didn't last long, lasted a few snaps. So Age Crew definitely in a precarious position here heading into the finals, trying to figure out who's his second quarterback going to be, or if there ever is going to be a second quarterback, which is going to be tough, especially when Herbert's playing a tough Texans defense as well this week. That's going to be a thriller. But playing the Texans defense with a very weak offensive line, that could be problems for the Age Crew. Henderson also went out with the concussion. So, sometimes these things, they need an additional week off before they can come back. So we'll have to see if that's the case. And then you throw in the fact that DK Metcalf also got suspended for his idiotic punch on a fan. And I think the Age Crew has some challenges for the finals, especially when you look at Klenji, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, this guy's carried you to the finals. Has Trevor Lawrence finally lived up to the draft status they originally had? You got Devin A-Chain and Derrick Henry, which I both feel have some favorable matchups for you this week, and those guys are going to just put up huge points like they do every week. And then Hurts is your second quarterback as well with Trevor Lawrence. Um, I just think too many things have fallen off here for Age Crew late in the year. It does happen, the injuries, et cetera, et cetera. And my prediction for this one is Klenji is going to win the first reboot here of LOC Dynasty. We're going to say the first ever winner for LOC Dynasty. And I'm going to say my prediction is Klenji. All right, so next up we get to tier three here, and we got Hot Chupa Time Machine, who will make the finals as the third seed. He's 9-5 in a regular season. Taking on myself, family discounts 14-0. Will the perfect season happen? We will find out here in the LOC Tier 3 finals. For myself, I do feel that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go off on Christmas. I just find teams playing on Christmas probably going to have a few teams going off, right? Get the Christmas wish. Dak also playing on Christmas for me. I think he gets the Christmas wish as well. I am somewhat worried about my flex, though. The injuries keep piling up. It looks like now Jordan Mason's going to be out for me as well. So obviously I will have to make some adjustments in the flex, and that's one area that I do like Hot Chuba a little bit better than my team. The fact that he's got six wide receivers, and those wide receivers are filling up the flex, and he has some pretty decent bench players too that could round out the flex if he truly wanted to. The other thing I'm going to be looking for is, will Josh Allen bounce back? I know he's got a tough matchup against Philadelphia, but I just have a feeling that he's too good. He will bounce back. I will say that my IDPs, I think, are better, though, than Hot Chuba, and that IDP advantage is potentially what will get me the win. I am going to say Discounts does complete the perfect season and finds a way to win the Tier 3 finals. I will say this, Hot Chuba, stay tuned for the end of the video, as I will be going through the teams available for you Tier 3 owners. I will say for everyone who is paying attention from the other tiers, we have 4 new owners coming to Tier 3. We've already determined what teams are going to be taken over based on the fact that who reached out to me first. So we got Hayden and Dylan's referral of Lucas, who's going to come into Tier 3. He's going to take over My Wife is Hotter. The second team that reached out was, who was it now? I forget who the second team that reached out was, but here, let me look it up right now because now I feel bad. But I know Austin was the third team that reached out. He is Referral from Say My Name in Tier 2. He's going to be joining the International Division and taking on Black Dog. Sorry, it was Turncoats referral. Brett, sorry, Turncoats. He's going to be taking over Hot Chuba, right? So he'll be in the same division as you. And then our Ragu, who is Coach Blackie's referral, we already know he's going to be taking over Throwbacks. And the four teams moving up to Tier 2 are going to be Throwbacks, My Wife is Hotter, Hot Chuba Time Machine, and Black Duck. All right, folks. So now we've reached Tier 2, and you'll notice here this is LOC Tier 2 third place game. So why am I showing this game? Much what the same reason why I showed the fifth place game last week for Tier 2. Whoever wins this game is gonna make it to Tier 1, and whoever loses has to stay in Tier 2. I will say this: it is a tale of two different teams for the most part, and I'll get into that in a moment. But Silver Bullets 7-7, the eighth seed, stuck in as the eighth seed. We'll take on Sandusky Sandmen 8-6. Here's the tale of the two teams. Bullets went all in. Sandman actually kind of prepared himself for next year. Let's get into it. Bullets, I think Goff at Mini or Stroud at the Chargers. You're going to have to make a decision there on which quarterback you think is going to be best for you to make it up to Tier 1. You got Bijan, you got Bucky, you got Jamar Chase, you got Puka Nakua, who those guys have to carry you to victory. And I think, there's a heck of a good player lot roster right there for Tier 2. If you lose, and this is what I was talking about, the tale of the two teams. If you lose, you got no pick in the first three rounds. And obviously, your Tier 3 teams, if you're paying attention, this could be one of the teams available. No pick in the first three rounds, but also all those good players. We'll get into the rosters in a moment, obviously. Sandusky Sandman, I think you got a good roster, but you don't have the name talent like Bullet does. And I think you literally are outmatched in every category, I feel. Every player will need to go off for you. You are set up for next year, though, with 2 firsts, 2 seconds. So it almost seems like you were preparing for next year. So I guess my prediction for you is if it's not this year, is it next? And it very well could be. Silver Bullets, I think you are going to win this game, and you are going to be taking over the age crew in Tier 1 and will be in the red and white division with Hayden next year as well as myself. So we'll see what happens. Either way, whoever wins this game will be in the red and white with myself in that division. So just be prepared for that. Next up, we get to the Tier 2 finals, and we already have had Bishop Sycamore move up to Tier 1. Congratulations, Cody, for earning that #1 spot. He took over BC Lions already in Tier 1, who graciously let him accept the team as he has retired. Bishop Sycamore is playing for first overall in Tier 1, so hell of a reward for him. And also, the reward could be winning the money here in Tier 2. Let's not forget these two teams did contribute to the purse. And so this is for 150 and 50 for second place. So this is going to be exciting. Myself in the finals again. You got Bishop Sycamore, who finished 8-6 in the regular season. Johnny 8 Balls 11-3 for Bishop. Just what I said for my team in Tier 3 family discounts. Can Gibbs go off on Christmas? I think he does, to be honest. I think it's so cool for you, Bishop Sycamore, that you inherited a team in Tier 1 who has Jameer Gibbs. So you'll get to keep Gibbs throughout the lifeline here of your tenure in the LOC. Kittle and Bryant, obviously some injuries to monitor for you, so that'll be something to watch. For myself, it's that running back trio, right? You got Kyron Williams, Devin Achane, James Cook. Enough said, really. And then I also think that Marvin Harrison's going to have a day. I just have a feeling he's going to go off. I am going to predict that 8 Balls will defend the title. I am the defending Tier 2 champion, and I do have myself winning Tier 2 as well. You also noticed prior in the video I had myself winning Tier 3, so I very well could be looking at double trophies here, or I very well could be wrong. All right, folks. So we've now reached the pinnacle here, and of course, it's the League of Champions final. It's Tier 1. We got Dushan and Sabatica Spartans, a guy who made it all the way up from Tier 3 for you Tier 3 owners watching, and has been a mainstay in Tier 1. And then he is playing myself. So I am in the finals in every single tier and have the chance to get the triple crown, so to speak. It'll be interesting if that actually happens. Both teams are 10-4 in the regular season. It's the fifth seed versus the second seed. And just like in Dynasty, Sabatica fifth in scoring, Horror Business second in scoring. So funny how that worked out. Lifetime Sabatica's 2-1 versus Horror Business. So definitely has the edge there. And Sabatica also beat Horror Business earlier this year in week two by 28 points. Career records in the playoffs, Sabatica 5-3, myself 7-5. Here's what I see. So for myself, Burrow versus Arizona, I think Burrow's going to go off right at home. I just have this feeling that Burrow's going to be a league winner for a lot of teams here in the last 2 weeks of the fantasy play season, anyways. Can RJ Harvey and Chase Brown keep it going for me? I mean, those guys, Chase RJ Harvey, obviously the draft pick. I got Chase Brown at the deadline. He's turned out to be a great player. I am worried about my flex, especially since Jordan Mason's likely out. We know at this point in the season, there's definitely not too much to grab. My IDPs, though, I will say, have been solid this year and for the most part have been able to stay healthy this year. And that's been a contributing factor to my success. For Sabatica, he's got Hurts at Buffalo. That Buffalo defense has been fairly weak, as we've seen over the last couple of weeks here. So it could be an opportunity for Jalen Hurts to go off. You got King Henry, who you acquired at the deadline. He's Mr. Consistency. I think that Mr. Consistency is going to continue. Your linebackers are deep, Sabatica. And, what's the status on Vidal? From what I'm hearing, he's only going to be day to day, so he might be available for the finals. And then my next question would be, how's Tet McMillan going to do versus Seattle and that tough defense? This is really going to be a game that I think is too tough to call, but the fact that I have an opportunity to get the Triple Crown, I am going to say that I win the LOC Tier 1 title and somehow get the Triple Crown. I'm sure any one of the teams in any of the tiers would love to knock me off. And in all honesty, I'd be happy for you guys if you do knock me off. So it's been an incredible season, everybody. This is going to be the last preview video, at least for this season. And for the teams in Tier 3, please stick around as I am now going to show you the teams that are available. All right, so I'm just going to get into the teams that are available here. So just give me a moment here and I will share my screen again for you folks. Okay. All right, so for you tier three teams, again, there is three teams we know for sure that you can take over as of today, and then the game between Sandusky Sandmen and Silver Bullets will determine the other team that's available. So we know the one team that's available for sure is this one. Okay, it's Purple Unis. You can see there's Jalen Hurts, there's Saquon Barkley as a potential keeper, maybe Jordan Mason. DK Metcalf, maybe Rashid Shaheed, Brock Bowers for sure. Jake Ferguson could be in there. So there's definitely a few options at keeper. You can see IDP keeper looks pretty good too with guys like Quay Walker there, Olakun. So really good linebackers there as well. Even DB like Hufanga had a pretty decent year. Of course, the bench, well, there's Trevor Lawrence, right? So maybe that's potentially a keeper as well. And Dunze was on the bench because they were hurt. And in terms of the draft picks for Purple Unis, they never made any trade. Okay, so the picks are basically what it's going to be. In terms of draft position for unis, right now they are currently losing a playoff. Well, they lost in the first round of the playoffs. They've lost this one. So basically, they're going to be in the seventh place game. Okay, so ultimately, that's going to mean either the ninth or 10th pick in the first round. Okay, so that's the first team available. The next team that we know for sure is available is Team 14. So this team got booted because of inactivity, and ever since I've been setting the lineup, it's been going off. So who's there? You got Dak, you got Josh Jacobs, you got Henderson, Krosky Merritt, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave, just incredible options here. Trey McBride. Unbelievable keepers, to be honest with you. On defense, I could see maybe TJ Edwards as a possibility. Hutchinson, Schlesinger, Zaire Franklin. Why was this guy inactive? I mean, honestly, when I look at this team, this looks legit. There's even Kyler Murray, Cam Ward on the bench, like D Parsons, got hurt, but man. And then in terms of this team, they never traded any of their picks away. So they have all their picks available. And what's going on with this team? Well, I'll tell you what's going on with this team. They literally are going for first overall. So they are in a game next week with Morning Chuba here, where the winner will get first overall, the loser gets second overall. So, in my opinion, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Team 14 is the best team to take over just for the simple fact that you're also going to have a great draft pick scenario. The other team we know for sure will be available is our LOC Tier 2 finalist, Bishop Sycamore. He's already in Tier 1. He's going to play the finals here. When we look at his team, why did he make the finals? Well, you got Bo Nix at quarterback, Aaron Jones, obviously, Jameer Gibbs, big part of that. He's had some guys come on late here with like Michael Wilson in there. He's got George Kittle. There's Pat Bryant potentially, but no offense to Bishop Sycamore, but when I compare this team to Team 14, no, I think Team 14 has a better core of keepers, to be honest. When I look at IDP, you got Bobby O there as a potential. Roquan Smith, obviously, Bobby Wagner. This guy's always getting up huge numbers. You also got Travis Hunter, who was hurt all year. That could be potentially a keeper for sure. And when we look at the draft pick scenario here for Bishop Sycamore, well, there is the advantage. So first off, he's in the finals, so he's either getting picked 15 or 16 in the first round. So remember that. But remember, it is snake draft, so the second round would be high. And he also has Scooter Ray, who's Scottish Highlanders first rounder. He's currently likely playing in the fifth place game. So, and on the second round, that's also going to be a pretty early pick as well. So Bishop Sycamore definitely has a decent team here as well. I think Team 14 is the best team available. And then likely Bishop Sycamore, and then Purple Unis, and then the fourth best team available. It really depends. Okay, so right now, Sandusky Sandman is a team that could potentially be available. My prediction is he's going to lose and likely won't be available. But you can see he's got King Henry. He's got a few pieces like Alec Pierce, DJ Moore, Harold Fannin, who's done amazing there as a rookie for the Cleveland Browns. A couple options at IDP. You got Alex Singleton, maybe Demetrius Knight, Antoine Winfield is there, of course. Had Tyreek Hill get hurt earlier this year, Fred Warner as well. But you can see the draft pick scenario here for Sandusky Sandman. He was already setting himself up for next year. So the fact that he has a chance to move up to tier one is pretty incredible, but he's got two firsts. One of those firsts is the team he's playing against, Silver Bullets. How ironic is that? And pretty incredible to think about, really. But remember, that'll be a late pick for both of those first rounders because they are playing in the third place game. But you can see he also has the second rounder for Silver Bullets as well. So two firsts, 2 seconds, 2/8. So a hell of a scenario here. If for whatever reason Sandusky Sandman wins, actually I would probably almost put him as the second best scenario available. But my prediction is likely Silver Bullets is going to win. And why? Well, look at his team. He's got Goff, he's got Brees Hall, he's got Bijan, he's got Bucky, he's got Jamar Chase, he's got Puka Nakua, he's got Lad McConkey, Ibuka. Guy's got everybody. And one way to look at Silver Bullets is if you take over his team, you could always try to trade some of these guys to recover some of those picks back so that you can only keep 5+1. So an owner that thinks they can wheel and deal, this might be a situation for them, right? For throwbacks, if you're listening, if nobody picks this team, that would be your scenario, right? You could see IDP, you got Caden Ellis maybe as an option. Simon, of course, came on late. His IDP's there's good players in there, but I guess you can say not the huge names that you typically see. You can see even the bench is pretty decent here, but the draft pick scenario, oops, sorry, let me go back to that. The draft pick scenario is not ideal for Silver Bullets, as we see here. He's got no first, no round one, no round two, no round three, no round five. So again, somebody taking over this team would really have to be wheeling and dealing. Again, if Hot Chuba for you, if one of these two teams is potentially one of the teams you would want to pick, you could always wait to see what happens at the end of the week. I still personally feel that Team 14 is the best opportunity, but I will leave that up to you. All right. So for those two or three owners, my wife is hotter as well as Black Dog. I want you to start thinking about what your choices are going to be for you. Throwbacks, obviously, you're just going to get the scraps. So we'll just work it out from there. Again, I just want to thank everybody for another amazing year here in the LOC. In fact, it was probably one of my favorite years ever, if not, the best. So I really appreciate the good new ownership that we're getting, the commitment from all of you to the league, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.